Hi there, how are you? Um, First of all, I would like to thank you for enrolling in this class, namely ES6. Um, over the coming days, I hope that I will help you to learn the new skills and concepts that are taught in this course, namely ES6 concepts and skills. Um, Also, I would like to help you extend your knowledge of the language that the web is built on and the language we all love, namely JavaScript. The course will be laid out in sections. Every section will explore a different topic, and so after every topic is explained, you will have the chance to um, practice by putting your knowledge through exercises, and after the end of every section there will be a big project which you will be given instructions for, and based on these instructions you will have to complete it and submit it for review by our reviewers, who are generally good people and will always help you with whatever you might encounter as a problem in your submissions. Um, so nothing too scary, right? I hope that if you have any questions, you will always reach out to me and together we can solve the problem, whatever it is. Okay, so let's get cracking. Today, we will only have a general overview of what ES6 is, and over the coming weeks and days, we will take a much deeper dive into the inner workings of ES6 and what it's all about. So firstly, what is ES6? Semantically speaking, um, what is ES and what is 6 if we divide the two? I'm sure everyone has heard what uh, everyone has heard about ES6 and knows that uh, it's a it's connected to JavaScript basically. So, but not all people know what ES6 is. So if we divide it into ES and into 6, we can maybe get a bit more clarity. So ES is ECMAScript. Well, it still doesn't ring any bells, does it? Well, ECMAScript is the standard issued by ECMA International, and ECMA International is the organization that's responsible for standardizing software, information technology, and that basically includes JavaScript as well. So, um, ECMAScript, we told what that is, and 6, well, 6 is just a version of the standard. So, in a nutshell, ES6 is ECMAScript 6, which is a standard of the JavaScript language. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, um, we can say a bit more information about when this standard occurred. Just so you know, there has been previous versions of the ES standard, and the first one came in 1997, way back then. So the most widely used, I would say, standard um, in the new millennium was issued in 2009, and that's ES5. It was used all the way up till 2016, when actually ES6 was introduced by ECMA International. That means that a lot of JavaScript developers were a bit angry about this new standard because the codes they wrote over the past 7 years, and the JavaScript language as they knew it was completely changed. There were so many more additions to the language, modifications, that it was hard to get it all in. So no wonder that with the issue of ES6, ECMA International decided that um, they're going to issue a new standard every year so as to avoid um, the thing that happened with ES6, which is basically unloading all kinds of new developments, concepts, and tools which developers need to learn to be up to date with the things. So, what does ES6 actually introduce? Um, well, generally speaking, it gives us a whole new way of writing JavaScript. Pretty much everything gets refurbished, from the way we declare variables. The var keyword is pretty much totally eliminated in favor of let and const. We'll learn about that later on. Um, for loops, there are new kinds of for loops which make it easier for us to operate, and a bit less code than writing out the big for loop as we all know it. And also function declarations. We get a new way to write functions with arrow functions. That's pretty big new concept, which of course we'll learn later on. The standard also introduces new concepts like classes, modules, strict mode in JavaScript, also maps, promises, and a lot more. I will not explain all of them, but we will touch on the most important and widely used ones. Um, there's a lot more to the standard. If you want to take a complete look at the new additions, you can do so online, of course. So you get the picture that ES6 is pretty much a revolution in the way we write JavaScript codes, and that does come with its downsides. In 2019, pretty much all modern web browsers support ES6. However, all users in the internet don't have their browsers updated to the newest versions, and that creates a bit of a problem for us who know JavaScript ES6 and write code in ES6. So we know that accessibility is important. We always need to take account when we plan our projects that our product is accessible to as much people as possible. We absolutely must do that. No matter what you're designing, an application, a website, you need to take account of how users who are physically disadvantaged or simply technically don't have the best technical knowledge of the hardware or software are able to view your products. So older browsers don't understand ES6. So that's like speaking to someone who doesn't actually understand your language and doesn't really understand you. Well, in the real world, we have translators for that. Luckily, in the world of JavaScript, there's also a translator, which technically speaking is called code transpiler. With the help of code transpilers, we can convert our ES6 modern code, which is not understood by all browsers, and bring it into ES5 code, which can be run into all browsers. So, um, problem solved, right? Um, well, you might be saying, well, if ES5 can run on every kind of browser, old, new, why should we learn ES6? And that's a good question. Um, but of course, there are arguments for that. Knowing the concepts allows you to write more efficient and concise code, which automatically saves you time and saves other developers and colleagues the hassle of trying to understand what all these for loops are here for and all the messed up spaghetti code you wrote lightly. Also, every serious developer will have to come to learn a front-end framework, um, regardless of which one you choose. I mean, React, Ember, Angular, no matter what, all of them rely heavily on ES6. Um, it's very important you know that. So, having learned ES6, it will be very easier for you to jump into the framework and start learning right away. And last but not least, you should learn it, of course, to keep up with the modern world of web development, and that's that can be said about any software industry. There are constant new developments, and in order for you to be competitive and stay on top of the game, you should always follow new developments, learn them, know what to do, and generally speaking, just have a notion of it. I mean, it might not be your thing, but you still should be able to chat with friends about what the standards are and get a general notion of what it is. So, um, in conclusion, with ES6, we are going to take our JavaScript abilities to the next level and be able to build fast, modern, and interesting applications and websites. So I hope that this general overview has you excited for the course to come, and I'm looking forward to teaching it to you and viewing your progress. Good luck in the coming weeks.